I know, I feel like we're like on our shit today.
Right.
Do it.
That's good.
It's usually like, oh no, I forgot this.
So we're gonna go ahead and finish intentions and everything, guys. We're gonna shift to the tarot portion of the meditation and the full moon ceremony. So for me as a tarot reader, I've been reading since like 2017 or so, and one of the ways that I connect through zodiac signs is there's 78 cards here. Each card represents numbers, colors, but we have the zodiac signs and the planets too. So for Leo, suitingly, we have the Strength card, which is the lion. There's actually a lion that came to me through meditation, just briefly. So I don't know if that's the Leo energy, if someone here has like a spirit animal, lion, something going on there. But Leo is the lion, and this is the Strength card. So it embodies all those things that we kind of talked about tonight, the courage. But also with the Strength card, there's this holding back energy. I didn't get into that with the notes, but the tarot reminds me that Leo is also associated with taming energy. So we all have like lions to tame right now. And it's really just the things that our new found sense of self-worth are desiring. We're starting to desire new things in the form of people, places, and things, actions that we want to take. And we're going to have to tame other sides of us in order to accomplish that. So there's like this lion. I know it's a bit far away, but there's a lion. And I always say with this card, you're either you can be both or neither. But there's a lion and a lady on this card. The lion represents something that is a lion. It's going to roar. It can maul you to death. Lions are really majestic, right? But they lay in the sun and stuff, but they can kill you, right? So there's things in life like that. Like this represents fears. And the woman, though, the feminine energy in this card, I say you're either the lion or the lady. So you're either what needs to be tamed, or you might be the positive, angelic, divine force of calming femininity, regardless of gender, that is kind of taming people right now. You can be both. We kind of take turns. Sometimes we're the lion, sometimes we're the lady. But I love this infinite energy here. And then just kind of like the lady is just petting this lion like it's a kitten, even though it can literally bite her hand off.
Oh, sweet kitty.
Right. Leos are such kittens anyway. They're literally lions and ferocious, but underneath it all, they're like quite kittenish. So that metaphor is like when it comes to our fears, which is represented like an omen for our fears is this lion. We're just petting them. Like you have that courage. And it takes courage and strength to pull back when that is the time to do that, when that's the vibe, and also to charge forward and roar and be ferocious as a beast would do. So we've got those energies. So what I was saying is I did some shuffling last night with the intention of the full moon in Leo, with the intention of these messages. And I just shuffled. I think maybe it took 5 or 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes hours. But I wait until this card shows up because I'm harnessing Leo energy. So here at the beginning, before I get cards for each bowl, I'm going to go ahead and see, because there's like some kind of a story that within that shuffling, the cards all have energies and meanings that I kind of developed as a tarot reader over the years. They have traditional meanings that I'll kind of chime into, but they all speak their own like imagery. So what we're going to wind up with is just like somewhat of a story that is something to do with this Leo full moon is the intentions that I set. Something we all can take something from, those that are listening. So Leo energy here at the top. And then, the card right behind the Strength card is the Page of Wands, which is also my Leo card. So there's other cards, too. We call these minor arcana. The Strength is a major arcana that represents Leo. But now we literally, like, for me as a reader, this is a young little Leo. So we've got that energy here. It's the energy of enthusiasm, the Page of Wands, excitement, positive news. So there is, some of us might be on the timeline or vibration where this has already come in. But I'm feeling more so for those present tonight and listening that there's good news coming in the next few days, the next 2 weeks at the very most. Like there's news. This news is an extreme element to that confidence energy we've been discussing tonight. So there's some elements. I kind of see the universe like in front of a chess table right now. These are going to be real good moves and news and energies that come in. So if we're not feeling that right away, right now, all of us, there's some excitement that awaits us very soon. And this is about new confidence. This is usually us expressing something with the Page of Wands. It's like a message that excites you, like, okay, bet. You know, like getting invited to a party or like something you've been waiting on. It could even be, we're all different. So it could be money, relationships. But I'll just say in general for the collective, there's good news. This is free spirit energy. But something's being expressed here, and we definitely have Leo. And then even more Leo energy, the Seven of Wands. So we have elements in tarot. We have fire, earth, air, and water. I know spirit is like kind of that fifth one. So whenever we see wands like this is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy in the tarot. It's the energy of expression, manifestation, action taking, and then we have like other ones too that'll come up that represent other things. But this is the fire, and it's totally on key with this full moon. But it's the 7 of Wands. So the Page of Wands is that new enthusiastic news, like, okay, free spirit, my confidence getting back. It's that mojo turned back on energy. But the 7 of Wands, we're getting deeper into the story being told here. There's a competitive vibe going on. The 7 of Wands, Leo, right? Like, it's definitely the energy where, okay, I like that you mentioned that you're not on a pedestal and that you're not putting other people down. This is the kind of energy where we got to be transparent. There are people, places, and things that are aspected and depicted here in the imagery below this person, this individual who is actually standing on a pedestal. Is literally what this card talks about. He's like he or she is the king of the hill, and they're trying to be perseverant, and they're trying to protect and be territorial and fight off all these opposition in the name of that confidence and that ego. So, the thing is these people they're not faced. They're not, we don't know who they are. It can be different areas, but I'll just let everyone know tonight, we are fighting, even if they're unseen, living and non-living, seen and unseen beings, people, places, and things. Like, they're things that our ego and that our confidence and our self-worth have to kind of, it's like the universe is testing us to see if we're going to, drop the ball. Like, okay, like, I don't want to be the king anymore. Someone else can come up here on the hill. I'm getting poked too much. Like, don't let people burst your bubble right now. Persevere. Stay in the race. Be confident. That victorious energy that you use. So there's definitely, this is competition, battles, and that kind of energy. But you're going to need to be confident to use your wand to kind of, like, defend. And, okay. So now we have the 7 of Swords, which lets me know more about why. Like, sure, there's good news coming in. Sure, you're still having to fight off some of these battles, but 7 of Swords is one of those deceptive cards coming up. Okay, so there are, speaking of that drama and the secrets, at best, this is a card of strategy. We're going to need strategy. How do I get up on top? How do I wind up on top? How do I get out of this victorious with my self-worth intact, with my ego? But the thing is like, there's just lies, I don't want to make this about astrology, but Leo is one of those signs with the attention. Like, when the spotlight's on you, the spotlight's on your lies too. It's on all of you. So these are the parts of us that lie to ourselves. That's not going to be too easy moving through these energies because it's authentic. I don't know if I've dropped that word yet tonight, but Leo is all about authenticity. Even if you're a bitch, even if you're being an asshole, at least I'm authentically that.
Be a real asshole.
Right, be a real one. If you're going to be doing it, be good at it.
I've been good at that for a long time.
Right. So at worst, the 7 of Swords is a sneaky person doing something in the middle of the night, or
I felt that.
energies that don't want to be seen. Any energies that are, it's a thief. It's someone who's stealing or cheating or lying. So there might be some deceptive vibes that we have to fight off. Like, this is quite a lineup here. We'll just stop here.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, we're going to stop right here. So point blank period, it's all fun and games to talk about confidence and stuff, but some of us at a deeper level, and we may need to take this. Like, we might not be feeling this tonight. This is actually after I'm seeing as we walk away from the heaviness of this full moon and the energies going on subconsciously, we're going to be left. Some of us are going to be left. I'm recording this if anyone wants me to send it to them. Like, within the next week, I'm seeing 8 days after the full moon, some of us are going to be feeling a little depressy. We're going to be feeling a little conflicty emotionally. This is the nitty gritty. It's authenticity, right? So what I'm saying here, as I see, and this is because of relationships for many of us, and attention that some of us are seeking, like, there are third parties, and I see the divine feminine getting a lot of attention, like a lot of attention. This is the accomplishment card. So it's like, not all relationships are going to be victorious after we've made certain decisions. But this is why I'm saying some of us might be feeling a little conflicted emotionally, a little depressed. We've got some regrets. We might even regret giving. Some of us are like feeling disappointed because we're not getting attention from some areas or people, places, and things. And then some of us might be feeling regretful where we've been putting our attention lately. And then what I was going to say is, if this isn't us, some of us are going to be mirrors for other people. And we may be those people on top of the mountain and they're feeling. So I don't know if everyone here tonight is the 5 of Cups, or if there's someone in your life that you might disappoint, or you might, so it probably both, right? This is the universe we're talking about. So we're all mirrors for each other. We're all projecting. even if it's accidentally sometimes, it's not intentional, but there's definitely some conflicted emotions going on after this full moon. It's so weird how this is set up, but I just see like there's this dude in this card and there's a full moon in the sky and he's walking away, and here's the Leo card and he's walking away from the Leo full moon. So just me as a visionary, I can kind of see the story sometimes, and it's like, here's the lineup. And this ain't even me pulling the cards for the actual reading. This is just what we had to discuss to harness the Leo full moon. So yeah, be confident. You know, there's things we need to express, things getting expressed to us. I love that there's enthusiastic news that's gonna like elevate us and put us in a higher, it might be a literal level up. Like at your job, it might get manifest tangibly where you have more responsibility now, you're more authority. Or it might be happening low key where you just feel like kind of out of the slumps, like, okay, I'm back. You know, like something got me down, I was lied to, I was cheated on, I was betrayed, but like I'm back. Like so there's that confidence that we find, and we're getting in kind of like, and the only card I haven't talked about, which is so significant as a reader when I kind of overlook energies, is this right here. So let's talk about the heaviness, since it's trying to be like secretive. That this is what we're all hiding, because me as your tarot reader, I just kind of like, let's not even talk about how fucking heavy everything is and the burdens. But this is the 10 of Wands, lots of fire energy here. So there's definitely Leo energy here. But it's like this card comes out when the heavy burden is over. But the kicker here is like the little cheat code from the universe is that we have got to walk away from the heaviness. And that doesn't sound too scientific when I say it. Like, of course, walk away from what's heavy to get the lighter energy. But that really is something that needs to be said, is like, you ain't got to stay there and carry all that. Like, you've carried it to completion. You've been carrying it for a really long time, and like the only burden left is to leave. That's the last heavy thing you have to do, is to just walk away. Not physically, because you already did that. You know, maybe not even mentally, all those elements are important, but this is literally like emotionally and physically distancing yourself. Some of us have already walked away physically, but we're still lingering emotionally. Did you really leave? Or are you still kind of energetically involved with old family members or old exes, people, places, and things? It's going to be different for all of us. But to collectively kind of put an umbrella on it, it's the heaviness. What's heavy in your life? Can you be confident while you're carrying all that? Like at some point, you were confident because you were carrying it, but then it kind of, some kind of narrative shifted where it's like, it started to become a lie. It's like, am I really strong if I'm lying to myself, or is that a weakness? Because there's definitely deceit here that's been battled and fought. Like, and I kind of feel it's more so lies we've been telling ourselves, which is manifesting in the universe as others lying to us, as others not. It's like, I kind of feel energetically that this is who you are, but when you're in front of me, I'm not getting it. Like, I'm not getting that. This is like literally, I'm supposed to be reading a book about a giraffe, and I'm looking at this hippo right now. Like, that's how off it is. Like it's like I don't know, that the thing that you read like on the back of a book, like this is a story about a girl in outer space who fights zombies, and then you start reading and it's like this romance novel. So the narratives aren't fitting because there's lies. We're lying to ourselves, others are lying to themselves, so we're lying to each other. So basically, I don't see it in the cards, but what that tells me intuitively is that there's going to be some truth. Because like, what can combat deception? What could start all these fights and heaviness and for someone to walk away? Well, obviously the truth and honesty is going to be boldly expressed. And then by the next full moon, which is March 7th, things are going to feel a lot lighter. We'll have walked away from lies. Maybe some of us are just done lying to ourselves. At the very least, we're just done lying to ourselves by that time. And it's like, this was a battle that, yeah, it showed us how strong we were for a while until it started to become a weakness. So we're like, actually, the strongest thing to do is to drop this energy and not carry it anymore. I felt so guilty for wanting to drop this before, and you had to lie to yourself to keep carrying it, you know? It's like a really gross narrative here. But the good part is we're walking away. This is going to be causing sadness. Yes, it is. This full moon is going to cause a little sadness. It's sad to walk away from things, but how happy are you going to be when you arrive where you're going now? When It's so much lighter. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather, this probably won't sound right, but I'd rather hug the truth than carry a lie. Like, I'd rather be embraced by the truth, even if it hurts my feelings, than continue to, like, if this heaviness is a lie, it's not making me stronger.
Right.
Like, lies don't make you stronger. They make you weak. You know what I mean? So, like, all that's coming up with, you know, I feel like each and every one of us are just kind of on this hill as a king and a queen of our own life, and that I am energy, and it's not easy. It's like, are you going to persevere at this point? Like, it's time for you to start fighting the real battle, which for some of us, most of us, is within ourselves. not our mom, not our girlfriend or boyfriend or our ex or anything like that exteriorly. Once you start really fighting and getting stronger within your own attributes, it's like other things will kind of either dissipate or just fall in line is the best way to put it. But the main message is this Page of Wands, which I freaking understand, because it's like, okay, it begins with enthusiasm though. You know, it begins with this spark of confidence in a potential flame to get something done or to look better. Page of Wands is all those energies. Like, it's like somebody who's going out on an adventure and they're dressed their best and they're ready to be seen. And it's like immediately after that, there's just something to combat though. And it could be within us. But that's I call it the energetic lineup as I connect it to the full moon. The extra message there that honestly what I'm doing during that process is saying certain things, making us feel certain ways so that we can now I'm going to really get into it. Like I've kind of unlocked the door to the Leo full moon now that we've kind of honored it and we've opened that energy. And now none of it's really up to me, but for sure when I start shuffling the cards, whatever does it, like the universe, like I don't pick the cards, like let's do this one today. Like I kind of shuffle and I so this is the part where I kind of feel like I step fully back and just read, like, and just, so I'm actually going to start here. I usually start over there, but I really feel like getting this root and start, I don't know why I've ever started from over there. That's like literally not, it's a little backwards if you ask me.
She had an epiphany.
Yeah, I did. It was literally a program unlocked during that meditation, like start at the root. I'm like, all right, start at the root. Okay, so root chakra energy, what is the message? And I'm just going to go through and grab the cards. If something comes to you and you want to write, feel free, because it ain't up to me how long it takes. But okay, just repeating cards then. That's great.
Oh, wow.
So there's the root of the issue. Okay. Literally the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Swords. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. And now we move to the sacral. Thank you, because I did not know.
You're welcome.
White stone over here?
How white? Card
Alright,
again.
sacral chakra energies, which is yellow, right, usually?
Orange. Yellow.
Orange.
Yeah.
Okay, orange energies. Okay. Communication from the past, clarity from the past, quickly. Okay, now that is zoom. Alright, so now we're at the heart, which is really important for the Leo, because Leo rules the heart, so I'm really interested in what comes out from the heart. And there it is. And then the throat chakra, which I know you mentioned, so this is going to be a real important message for that throat chakra. And this is honestly just a brilliant way to tune into the energies of our chakras, but also the tarot gets to talk to. So it's kind of really weird that we did this, Michael. Like, let's just do tarot and bowls. Like, I don't know if anyone else is doing that. So these cards are just kind of coming out, literally. And some of them I haven't even really focused on, but doing things that, this is super different. I usually go through the cards and then talk about the underlying energy, but I sometimes forget it. So during the meditation, I also thought to like, just do this in the beginning, which is demanding anyway, because it's quite an underlying deck. We have the Tower, which is the major arcana for unexpected shock, and it's kind of Aquarius energy. Aquarius rules, this is Mars, but Aquarius rules unexpected innovation. Like, here's the plan, how do I debuncle it? Like, how do I do this differently? So it's shock and sudden surprise and upheaval is the underlying energy for what we're about to talk about. So keep in mind as we go through all these chakras and messages, the reason all these cards came out is because there's unpredictability to also keep in mind right now for the remainder of Aquarius season. It's the sign of unpredictability. It's the sign of shock and surprise so that it can enlighten us. Aquarius is all about enlightenment. So there's something shocking with this full moon, and it looks to be, wow, it has everything to do with people, honestly. Some of these cards, like there's people in the cards, but when I get queens like this, when I get kings and queens and pages and knights, they're individuals. So we got an earth sign, we got a water sign, we got an air sign. And they're not only queens, we have a king of swords here, okay? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but we don't like to just put a box around zodiac signs. This could be unexpected, tangible things. Like when these two cards show up, it could be like something unexpected that takes place in anything that we value, anything that we build, anything that has taken effort or time. If it's not Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, then it's definitely, keep in mind, people have moon signs and rising signs that you can look into. But I do see these things taking place mentally, emotionally, and financially. So during this time, lightning may not have struck yet. So we may not be feeling this tower just yet, but it's like we're in a snow globe and some kid's about to come up and shake the hell out of our lives. So we're trying to remain mature tangibly in our jobs and our careers, finding that life work balance of being grounded and secure and what's those Capricorn words, like when you can rely on somebody, when you're consistent, those earth sign energies. And there's also, like, I'm really proud of us for trying to, we're like, wow, okay, very mature individuals that I'm reading for that have really grown financially in the tangible realm, really grown emotionally, intuitively. Like, these are all very mature people, very mature. It's like a therapist, a financial counselor, and a lawyer. Like, these are people that have really worked hard to sustain their and Leo is the king and the queen. I also see a dude here with 2 chicks. So, I don't know what that means. Right, 2 queens and a king, okay? Like 2 women and a guy. So whenever you find yourself, whatever you identify with, so for me, I'll use me as an example. I'm one of these queens. Whenever I'm around a girl like I was today, I was around Jaden and I'm a girl and then there's a king. So 2 kings and a queen. It's like a beginning of a joke or something, like 2 queens and a king walking to a bar or something. Like, that's gonna be really important though. Like a boy and 2 girls. If you're a boy and you're around 2 girls, there's something going on.
It's interesting. I have 2 daughters.
Really?
So, and I have them alone quite a bit when my wife goes to work because I watch them at night. I work in the morning, come home, she goes to work. I have the kids.
This is a Scorpio woman, just saying. I see this as Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And where's Leo? Taurus,
And
that Queen of
my
Pentacles.
wife's Scorpio.
Yes. I mean, this is also water sign energy, but for me as a reader, it's the fixed signs, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, which is weird because we are in a fixed energy. Like Leo would be the 4th and final fixed sign, but let's keep in mind, it's this tower. There's something unexpected going on. But to handle it maturely, and then I didn't really harness the King of Swords, which is absolute supreme intelligence, intellect. He's kind of detached. Some of us are trying to detach emotionally, but we've got a lid on our secret feelings, and we're very, very sensitive and compassionate. But we're trying to like indulge in the physical realm so we don't have to think about these emotions and feel. But this lightning strike, whatever it is, some of us might leave before this lightning strike, and we have literal Aries showing up. The Emperor is Aries energy. So yeah, and if you are Aries, I do feel like there's some energies moving away from you, whatever that means, because I see it verbatim in the cards. Home and family, father figure energy, authority, but yeah, some shake-up. Let's get into the tarot though, but that's the underlying energy, so I didn't forget at the end. Just something's coming in to shock and uproot and all this other stuff. Mars energy going direct. So I gotta get my little cheat thing here with the chakras, and we're gonna start with the root at the bottom and work our way up, which might even be a metaphor. Start with the root and work your way up. So safety, security, stability, and foundation. And the tarot, in regards to the root chakra, is that Page of Wands. I'm telling you, these cards, like, if they want to come back out, they do. That's happened to me a lot. We have that same Page of Wands with the 7 of Wands, that fire energy. So I can tell some of us need to ground ourselves more with expression. Like, if you ain't feeling grounded right now, it's because you're too quiet. You're not expressing. That's more of a throat chakra thing, but it's showing with the cards that it's like, ground yourself in that new confident. I kind of did that during the meditation too. Like, I know these energies are temporary, it's hit or miss, but like, I want to harness this as I continue on in my journey. I don't want to just feel confident for the next few days. I don't want to harness this. I want to stay in tune with my inner child. So ground yourself. You are safe in that innocence. You're secure. But it's like, okay, let's talk about this 7 of Wands in reverse though, because when we first talked, it was upright. So this is talking about, let's get it out of the way, the past. Some of us are still, I don't know necessarily how this is gonna like translate, but there's something in the past, like a fight. It's when we gave up. In the past, we weren't as, that's just strength, isn't it? In the past, we gave up a lot easier. We've fought so much more now, whereas like our old self would have buckled three enemies ago, you know what I mean? So there's a fight that we gave up on in the past that we're kind of still overly identifying with, and it's stopping us from rooting ourselves in this new confidence. So let me just speak to whoever this is, like, it's okay that, you know, that fight wasn't worth it for you. You're not weak. We just talked about this. Like, that was part of that heaviness. That was a burden that didn't belong to you anymore. You know, burdens are fine when you're learning and growing from them, but when it's just stagnancy and lame, you're not a character in my story anymore. It's nothing personal, but like, you're just not. So I don't know how far in the past this goes, but I'm saying that with true confidence. Like, there's something here where, and it has stopped you from feeling safe. Now we don't feel safe enough. I'm feeling father figure energy for someone. I don't know what it is. It's like linked to masculinity though. So it could have been like, if you are a man, maybe it's you, or if you're a woman, maybe there were men in your life that like made you. That's the key though, is you don't feel safe now to fight. Now it's like, and you're telling yourself you're weak because of that, when really, like, I don't mean to over victimize anybody, but really the short story is that you got the hell out of there. It wasn't worth the fight anymore. It wasn't making you feel strong. But the problem with that is the confidence thing, because we're trying to root ourselves in these new confident energies, but we don't feel safe or secure or stable enough in foundations now because of a fight we stopped fighting in the past. And the Seven of Wands in reverse is also like kind of not cool, because it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like give up energy, which might be the advice. Maybe that's the sacrifice that we're having to make for this new confidence. It's like, if you want to root yourself in new confidence, you have got to let go of times you weren't confident. That makes sense, right? Energetically. You've got to let go of that. I don't know what this is. I'm not going to over push it, because I think it's intimate for a reason. I can't like harness all the energies coming. But it's okay that you stopped fighting, and it's okay that you don't root yourself. It's like some of us feel like we gave up, or we threw the towel in or whatever, but really you were grabbing a new towel for yourself. Like, so that's an interesting one. If it says anything else, I'll come back to it. But we need to start feeling more safe to express ourselves, even though there were people in the past that we tried to express ourselves to and failed. They made us feel a little smaller, whatever it might be. This is about a newfound security, new fights that we're fighting with actual up to par boss characters. You know, I'm getting that Bowser metaphor. Like, we have boss characters energetically that we fight when we level up energetically. They come in the form of people, places, and things. It could be a person, but sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's an unseen energy that we're fighting within ourselves. So it's boss character time. This like minuscule or whatever, like this muggle, for lack of a better word. This, and I don't mean to personalize it, because it's not a person for everyone. Whatever this is, you're stronger than it now. It's not a fair fight. So that person, place, or thing should low-key be happy that you gave up fighting, because it's like, you know how like there's weight classes in
UFC and whatnot?
Yes, it's like that. It's like that almost. I'm getting that metaphorically, and now I'm getting like fights between men and women when there's not fairnesses. Like, that's gross. But we'll stick with that metaphor. It's like, they're not in your weight class anymore. We're not gonna have a butterfly fighting a shark. Like, I don't know, the butterfly might win. I don't know. It's just that kind of energy. Like, let me.
David took out Goliath. Just saying.
Hey, listen. I don't know. What do they say? It's not the size of the dog in the fight, or it's not the
size of the fight or dog in the fight.
It's the size of the fight in the dog. Yeah. Exactly. So Chihuahuas can win against pit bulls sometimes. Listen, like.
Somebody need to run up on me on
that. I want to put my money on that Chihuahua.
Right. So I don't know. Obviously, those metaphors are real humorous energy, but there is a more pack of punch statement in that, which is people who have made you small. But now you're like, I mean, there's even that kid's story where there's a lion that had something stuck in his paw, and the littlest mouse in the jungle is the actual person that wound up helping him. I don't know what that's called, but that's
I know what
super
you're talking
crazy.
about now.
You know, so I don't know that's very metaphorically cloaked, but I think that's the energy there, is this new confidence to start fighting again, is also what I'm hearing. Like, you gave up. So we might be able to revisit boss characters that, you know, when you play a video game and you try to beat that boss, that you can't, so you give up. But now that desire to play that video game, right, I don't either. But it's that metaphor though. Like, now you have certain codes to where you can handle that person. So let's move to the sacral, creative, sexual energy, the orange energy, and it's the Dryad Queen of Swords. So some of us are not feeling, I'm just getting this first and foremost. Here's okay, the Queen of Swords, and she just reversed herself too. So some of us, just the main thing I'm hearing from this off the gate is like detached, and this is Aquarius. It's Aquarius season, so some of us are feeling that Mercury in Aquarius coming soon. So really detached, very intelligent, knows what she wants, says what she means what she says. But how would the Queen of Swords be creative? Well, she would write. She would speak and articulate. She's not like, I mean, she's precision and stuff. I think some of us are just a little too detached and we need to pick up a wand. Like, we've been too head space and not heart space, almost. Like, it's like someone who's coloring in only black and white. Like, grab a yellow, you know, grab a red. Like, you can really get crazy with it, you know? So it's like too anatomically correct, like, to be creative. Like, it's like a robot asking, what is fun? Like, it's kind of hard, unless you're watching SpongeBob, to like articulate what fun is to a robotic, like, so we gotta be careful. Yeah, don't let Plankton sing it, because he's a little different, but
It's for friends who do things together.
there's, okay, so I guess with our mind and with our voices, we can get creative with this, because I don't want to completely rag on the Queen of Swords, but I did feel that immediately, like, this ain't no creative. This, like, that would be Queen of Wands, like, she's more creative. The Queen of Swords is, again, that lawyer archetype. She's kind of a know-it-all, but there's a reason this card is here, so we need to really apply that, get more creative mentally, even if you just start thinking about it. Like, hell, I just want to color. Like, if you just think about coloring, you might get a little smidge, but, like, actually do it, though. Like, that's what I'm saying. The Queen of Wands doesn't just think about what she wants to create. She's already creating it, and people are asking her stuff. Queen of Swords is more like, so I think a lot of us have been really trying to articulate our passions and pleasures. We've been doing a lot of thinking about them, but it's getting to that time period where we're having to take action, but we're not rooted. That makes a lot of sense. So our mind, there's no boundaries there, right? We're thinking a lot about it, and then we don't want to forget the sexual. That's really what did it for me, is like, okay, way too detached. Like, this is sapiosexual energy, though, which basically means that you're attracted to one's mental state. You're attracted to mindsets, to people you can actually carry a conversation with. You know, so like there's that element of sexual. That's just because Aquarius is heavy right now. And then of course I'm gonna go back to we're a little too detached, which is probably for a reason. You know, I feel like these energies come out because they're meant to, but that is a caution I keep getting brought back to. Is like, so maybe the more clear we get, the more we're told the truth. Because going back to that lie energy, like, okay, I'm not about to get creative with you if you're lying to me or if there's deception. So the more clear and intelligent and like matter of factual that we get, then that creativity, that's just Aquarius and Leo working together. And the sexual energy, I literally keep ignoring that, and maybe that's what the burdens that I ignored further. Like, it's too heavy, I'm doing too much thinking, not in the mood. Like, I'm not in the mood to color or have sex. That might come up if you're not feeling that, or if you haven't been feeling that. Then with the sacral chakra, yeah, then that might be an energy that comes in the next couple weeks to kind of revisit. If that happens. But at best, or at the very least, I feel like it's mental first. If it makes sense, and then there's facts and details to consider here that the Queen of Swords cares about. It's like, so just with the metaphor, so I can leave this alone, because it's almost irritating. But there's that color by number shit. I'm not trying to diss nobody if that's your whatever, but like that's that kind of like Queen of Swords creativity. It's like I'm about to color, but by number though. I'm about to color, but like those bead art, like it's like meticulous art. It's art, but not free art. It's art logically. So maybe that would be like, she does word puzzles and stuff. She needs to loosen up. I don't know if all of us are getting to be the Queen of Swords, but hand that bitch a Sharpie. Like, she needs to chill out. She's not creative enough.
She's gonna make permanent damage.
Maybe that's what it is, Jalen. Maybe that's what it is. That just unlocked something for me.
Permanent damage.
Permanency. Yeah, the Queen of Swords is like, but it'll always be done. So she's the type to like use a pencil in high school, you know, or a pen, actually. Not a pencil, a pen. So yeah, like don't think about how permanent something is. It doesn't matter. That really did resonate, like the permanency, the logical aspect of it. So color by number if you want. I don't care. I'm just saying that's like kind of boring. But let's move to the solar plexus, which is, this is a good one for Leo. It's self-esteem, pleasure. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Leo rules the solar plexus, or is at least heavily associated with it. Even with the willpower and the responsibility aspects that come up. This is when the cards really just started to come out, like before I could even ask or say anything. So they're just meant to be here. So let's see here. Self-esteem and pleasure and willpower. All right, but the cards are 9 of Cups, Knight of Swords. As a tarot reader, I'll chime in with the chakras too. But when I get these cards as a tarot reader, this is like news coming in quick. Gemini energy here, if anyone knows a damn Gemini. But coming forward, quick news coming in forward that is linked to wish fulfillment. Like, this is the kind of energy where you really are happy to hear that you got that phone call back, that you got that the detail. it's coming in fast, like news that your dream came true, or news that's really, really emotionally content and satisfied. It's like sated energy when you're really fulfilled. But it's weird because the king or the Knight of Swords can be argumentative. I'm not getting that as much, but I have to say it because when we're all moving so quickly like that at rapid light speed with the Knight of Swords, it comes in right as it hears the truth. It doesn't sit with it. The Geminis don't sit with information. They're telling someone else immediately when they get it. So it's like you didn't really get time for this to kind of simmer. It's like, okay, here's the news. You got this house. Now you have to move. And you're like, well, shit. Like, I thought I had a couple months or something like that. So it could be anything for anybody. I just see fast, quick news of clarity, which the Queen of Swords would appreciate. Maybe that's what it is. We're not creative or feeling as creative as we could be because we're so tapped into the, like, where's the physical, intellectual proof of this? Like, I'm not going to get excited about it as an intelligent person until I see that contract has been signed or until that detail comes to me. So I guess just, you're going to be really happy to hear this communication. It has something to do with self-esteem, it's pleasure, it's willpower, it's responsibility, but what I'm getting, there's so much more to this, but I'm going to let it be just very good news coming in. Kind of like the Page of Wands, but this is more so like...
A race? Yay!
A race?
Yay!
Yeah, or you find out the race is done, and like it's that kind of energy. Like you're just super content to hear this. I get the energy, it's not in the cards, but intuitively, it's like this is something we've really been wanting to hear. We've really been... A race?
Yeah.
Okay.
What could be better than a race?
Yes, that could be. So even for other people, I'm not sure what that would manifest as, but that could totally be just something that you want to hear that makes you happy. And as your tarot reader, as I'm saying that, it's almost monotone. So at first, this news is going to seem like not as fulfilling as what it is, but it is. I'm just feeling that as I read those cards, like, okay, you know, like this person called me, or I got this message, I got this information back. But eventually, it might happen too quick at first for some of us. It doesn't seem as, like, we're like, is this stable? Like, this is a king or a queen versus a knight. Like, it has some time to mature, but the news is here now, though. So why not? I don't think we're going to have a choice. Like, and if it is a choice, it's very quick. So that's also, we need to really race towards our maybe financial, but emotional fulfillment, like our dreams, our wishes. There's very, like, yeah, the cards are saying to make a decision fast. You've pondered enough. I know that's kind of a contradiction there, because there's some areas where we're like still wanting information, and then there's this other area as far as the satisfaction that we've really had a lot of time to think. I mean, we haven't been taking that much action, so of course as humans we've been thinking about what we want, and it's coming in now a little bit faster than what we thought. And remember, that's linked to your self-esteem, so this news might really boost that self-esteem up, that courage we were talking about, pleasure, and then willpower and responsibility is going to allow you to make moves like that too, like really good news coming in. If I don't see that as a reader, I don't say it, but I see it with the Page of Wands, and I see it with the Knight of Swords and the Nine of Cups. 2 cards came out there. And so we're going to move to the heart chakra, which Leo rules the heart. So this is love, but self-love and also relationship. And we've got a Libra, which is interesting because in astrology, Libra rules relationships. So I don't know if anyone's connecting with Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if this is just talking about balance. So our relationships right now, especially marriages or relationships that consist of contracts in any way, maybe not literal, like what we're doing tonight is essentially contracts with ourselves to manifest. But sometimes relationships, when we get into like karmic relationships and soulmates, even karmic soulmates, there are these contracts that our higher selves, it's like we had this agreement, like you come love me around this time and I might love you back. Or if the contract said don't love me back so I can learn to love myself, I'm not going to get into it. We all have like really sacred contracts with people, but the Justice card is like the law, rules, balance, fair. So I'm getting those energies, is that it's really cliche, but it's really clear message, unlike some of these. I know what this is talking about is like the scales need to tip. So if you've been loving other people a little too much, you might need to love yourself. Relationships need balance right now, equal give and take. Otherwise, the scales of justice and harmony are not in harmonious energy. So I do feel that a little bit too, and that might be because of self-love. I'm not sure how we all fall on these scales, but they're about to be reset when the Justice card shows up. Keep in mind, if a Libra comes around, sometimes Libras as zodiac signs, they'll get drawn or somehow around your environment It's like Libras hang out with people who are in relationships a lot. Like there'll be these two people, maybe that's the two chicks and the dude, because that is a Libra man with two women or something like that. But so if you might not know you're around a Libra rising, but you and this person you're in a relationship with, or maybe you're hanging out with relationships, it's like we just kind of embody that judge energy to balance it out, like a mediator kind of, or a moderator. Some of us might need that. But in a nutshell, this is like the easiest message so far, is that just balance, equal give and take. Some of us, like if you're feeling unfair in relationships, like I've been giving too much, or even worse sometimes, like I've been receiving too much, so now I feel insecure and I don't have much to give. Like there's ways. I always talk about this in my readings. Like if somebody's spamming the financial aspect of a relationship, clean up. Like I don't know, just be open emotionally. Like we all have different things to add to our part of the scale. If we think about it as a scale, like, okay, this person just paid all the rent, okay? Well, I'm gonna do something really special for them. And like, don't make it a lie or anything, or like do something just because someone, don't get gross. It's just literally energy. It's like, okay, from the bottom of my heart to the top of my heart, I just want things to feel, and you can't lie about that. The scales of justice is the only item in astrology. Libra is ruled by the only non-living creature or being. It's an item. They call Libra soulless because of that. So justice is a soulless law. It doesn't matter how one feels. Like it ain't equal. Like it either is or it isn't. And you know, we'll figure that out in the next couple of weeks. And there might be things that happen, people that come in, new things, people, places, and things that wherever that scale was tipped, justice is like, okay, now you're equal. It's balanced. So we'll see what that does to our relationships and what Libra has to do with it, or the law, or just balance, and maybe even decisions too. But again, marriages. And for those of us who aren't married, you might have been married to this person in a past life, so you're still dealing with the shadows and the echoes of those contracts. So contracts are super important. Maybe even write one. I write contracts all the time to myself. I've even had a few chances to like bring other people into the contracts, like, okay, here's what we agree on. Here's what we want from the relationship. You just take a piece of paper out, write, sign it, and it's like there's so much power. And that's how I'm going to tell all of you to sign the bottom of your intentions, because that just locks it in, your John Hancock or whatever. It's who you identify with. It's your name being written, so it's an agreement no matter what. No one forced your hand. You did it with your higher self. So just consider that, maybe signing your intentions and manifestations. But balanced relationships, we'll see if they're fair or not. I'm glad I'm not the judge of that. So we're going to move to the throat, which is your ability to speak, blue energy, and it's to communicate clearly. And we have the death card come out for this, and it's kind of in its side. For me as a tarot reader, when cards are, and I don't put them, if they come out and they're like this, it's a sign for me that something's not on the up and up. Something can either go up or down from here. Like it takes the same amount of energy to move it this way than it does to move it this way. So when cards lay like this, it's like to be continued. And what this death card talks about in terms of communication is endings, change. Talk to a Scorpio if you can. Like talk to a Scorpio because it's the throat chakra, which is communication. That's like the astrology aspect of it. I'm hearing talk to a Scorpio, but also communicate even though something has ended. Like don't leave loose ends. You know, we all have free will, so sometimes when something's ending and changing, we don't have the time to like do what this Queen of Swords wants to do, which is have an understanding of all the truth. Like, okay, well, there's feelings and stuff. So I just see a lot of things ending and changing that we're going to be thinking about. That we are. So what's ending, dying, and changing, literally or metaphorically, is affecting our ability to speak. So what I'm getting from that is, remember I said it takes the same amount of energy to upright a card that it does to reverse a card when it's on its side. So whether something might be ending soon, like here's that scale I keep doing with my hands. Like, so we're not really sure what to say or think until we figure out whether this is dead or not. Something's on life support. Something like, I don't know if this is going to get, you know, it's like that kind of energy where, that is so gross. I heard grandma might pull through. Like, that's kind of, you know, like, I literally just heard that. I'm sure it's just a metaphor, but like, it might pull through, you know, like this person, place, or thing that's on life support. You don't want to just consider grandma dead if like she is on life support, and that could be literal for someone. So I don't want to make jokes, but like I get metaphors a lot. I'm a visionary person. So let's just say, okay, fine, Leo, if we're going in that situation with the metaphor and your grandma, let's make it more intense though. You live with your grandma. And if she dies, like, all of these responsibilities are, so it's not just grandma dying or this person, place, or thing dying. If this ends, what does that mean for you? If this doesn't end, what does that mean for you? So what I'm trying to get at is you're in the waiting room of a hospital wondering if your grandma's gonna die. The doctors don't really know either way at this point. She might, or she might not. So what is that person, imagine yourself in that waiting room, in that metaphor. So that's literally the uncomfortable energy of this throat chakra. So I just heard, don't say anything until it ends. Don't make any decisions, and because you're dealing with a freaking half zombie, like the death in sideways like that is like, it's like almost like, can this be resurrected, or can something that isn't all the way dead resurrect? Like, I even get questions when I read tarot, because that's up for debate. Like, if it's not all the way dead, so are you a zombie? If you're not all the way dead, like, that's the weird ass energy we're dealing with. So don't push yourself mentally. There's all this stuff trying to line out too. I literally heard, you know, you'll have a better mindset. You'll be able to communicate. There's going to be a lot of conversations in this half dead, might be alive again soon energy. It's like you're going to decide whether something resurrects or not. So that's why you're not sure. That's why our communication and the throat chakra and the ability to speak, it's like someone can speak to the dead here. Honestly, I just heard that too. And more importantly, people who are about to die. That's sick. Okay, that's like a very important message for someone here tonight. I don't know who that's for, but I did get that too. It's like, that could even be something deeper going on in somebody's life, or metaphorically at the very least. But like, yeah, speaking of the dead, someone here is literally meant to encounter people right before they die, but it's linked to like your ability to speak, your ability to communicate. And if you haven't been able to communicate clearly, it's because something is, I don't even know if the universe knows if this is going to die or live. It's like there's these two realities. And it's fine, because we're going to rock either of them. If we choose, maybe it's our free will. If we choose that this doesn't die, it's going to be a certain mind. There's going to be certain conversations. But if this does die, of course, there's going to be a certain mindset and conversation. So that's deep. Just talk to a Scorpio. Let's just pretend I didn't say anything else. Because that like, so intense, thank you. Intense conversations about emotions, conversations about, I hear someone literally talking and asking, is this over or not? So let's not use the word dead anymore, because that's just grotesque. It's like funereal. So someone's talking, like, is it over? Because what are other words for death? Rebirth, change, transition. So like, I do feel conversations with the throat chakra. You might be the asker, or you might be getting asked this, but it's like there's some kind of conversation intensely that needs to take place about whether this is ended or not. I don't know. Let's move to third eye chakra, which is purple energy. It's foresight, intuition, and open imagination, which I think we can kind of benefit from right now. If there's not like proof in this plane of reality, we can at least tap in, you know, and do our like loopholes there, find our cheat codes there. But we have the whopping Saturn card, the world card. So this is a major arcana for completions, yearly anniversaries, things coming full circle. And what is this for? The third eye. So, okay, this means intuitively we know that chapters are ending. And I always say with the world card, it's like, you know when a chapter is ending because you can't grow from it anymore. It's getting stagnant. You feel like a shark in a fish tank. Like, I really want to be in the Pacific. Like, I really want to be in the Pacific right now, but I'm in this guy's office in a fishbowl. So when you start to feel like that metaphorically, it's because the people and places and things you're around aren't stimulating enough. You're kind of getting that energy again where your weight class, like you're bigger than this. You've gotten bigger than your battles, so unfortunately they're increasing, but so are you. So Saturn's energy, March 7th, Saturn is shifting for the first time in 3 years from Aquarius to Pisces. This is going to be really major. So that time period may be significant for things ending, chapters, but this is also success. Let's not forget to mention that when the world card comes up, it is success. It's a graduation metaphorically. It's a level up. So we see all that in foresight, hopefully. We need to keep our open imagination, or our imagination open to things ending that we already knew were going to end. This is like kind of getting a brand new book and going right to the end and reading how it ends before you do anything else. Intuitive chapters ending. Spiritual. So things are also wrapping up in a very spiritual way. And I feel this may even have to do with world travel, online energy, but maybe things that ended last year. So we're talking the end of January, or I guess February of 2022. That could be a part of these chapters and cycles, but something's coming full circle and you're already seeing it coming in foresight. So keep that in mind when it comes to these harsh chapters. And then we're going to move to the final card, which is interesting. It's the crown chakra, which is our higher consciousness, our connection to the divine. And it is in reverse. What I meant by that is it's hiding. So when I have a card that comes out like this, I didn't even know. I can see it now. I'm going to show you guys. It's the Temperance. So we have Sagittarius energy here, which is higher consciousness. Sagittarius is like the galactic center of philosophy and science. So patience and moderation, okay, testing the waters, dipping that toe in the higher consciousness connection. Some of us are in the higher consciousness, but we are also right here in the fit. That's why it's weird. So if we could just mix those two things together, what I always say with the Temperance, Archangel Michael is present here with the higher. So if we could connect to him, if anybody connects to angels, there's a divine connection right now, the Archangel Michael. This was reversed, so some of us need to be a little bit more patient for things to connect in that higher consciousness reality. Maybe I see Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Gemini, Leo, Aquarius. These are all people that might show up as these manifestations. But be patient with yourself, because in a higher consciousness realm, you're literally in between two worlds. Like one of your feet are in that divine connection and the other one is, we'll just say, somewhere else, because that somewhere else is going to be different things for everyone else. But you're trying to balance this divinity with, well, it's opposite. You know, the yin and yang. So light and dark. One of your foot's in the light, one's in the dark, one's in the masculine, one's in the feminine, one's up, one's down, one's yes, one's no. So you got to use that moderation and that temperance to kind of mix the two, and then you'll truly be connected to the divine. But only if you're patient and balanced, or if you know a Sagittarius. So that's what I have. I don't know. Some of that was like, I recorded it, so I'll just listen to it later.